Okay, so today we're going to do a video about updated farming, and that's because Epic decided to release a new hero pretty much the day after I did a video on how I do my farming as efficiently as I do, which was almost guaranteed to happen, I suppose. But anyway, so if we look firstly at the hero, who is she? Well, it is Cassie Lipman, and she's an Outlander. What's cool about her is that she makes the anti-material charge have a much higher chance, or significantly higher chance if she's in the support role, chance of dropping additional materials. That is to say, if you punch a car, for example, and it's dropping your normal steel, and it's dropping your normal nuts and bolts, and whatever level parts are rusty, simple, shiny, or whatever type of mechanical part it is that you're dropping, she increases the chance of dropping additional ingredients by whatever percent, depending which role she's in. So that makes her ideal for collecting materials quickly, because it means she can, as it says there, if she's in the command role, she can pretty much double the ingredients you're dropping. At least that's the way it reads when you look at it straight up. So I thought that, given, we just go across right number 4, this is my usual farming setup, that is to say using Fossil Southie with this cool looking hat on there, and he regenerates energy pretty fast when his shield's depleted every second, and his shield is depleted constantly when you use Blast in the past, so that's perfect synergy there between the two. I usually use Isa and Ramirez to give me armor and health, so they're just there as kind of survivability characters, and they activate the perk too, because you need 2 characters in the support role to activate the perk. And then Jess here, I'm not going to try and pronounce it exactly, but Jess, she increases the efficiency, that is to say she reduces the energy cost of the anti-material charge, and Cassie increases the chance of dropping additional materials when you use the anti-material charge. So those two kind of combine together to make it both more efficient and more likely to get items. And lastly, Anti-Cuddle Sarah, she gives you energy based on kills. So if you're using a melee weapon, she'll be generating energy along with Fossil Southie as you're going along, trying to get you back up to be able to use the anti-material charge that you're making cheaper with Jess, and double, or well, in this case 1/3 chance of increasing the ingredients you drop. So that all works very nicely together. Cassie, if you're curious, has taken the place of, wrong one, there we go, has taken the place of Paleo Luna. So Luna is there, and she adds some of the health to melee damage, and the reason I used her was because then she linked up nicely with Sarah to increase the chance you would create melee kills quickly, and because Blast in the past gives you much more health than the normal standard health and shield setup, it means that she gives more a greater number to the melee attack damage. So taking him out, putting Cassie, figuring that the chance of dropping items is better than the quickness of getting energy back. So for the purpose of the experiment, we'll keep that the same. So just rearranging the hero, there are 2 other possible loadouts that are, I guess, obvious that you could use for farming. So the first one is the one a bunch of people already use, which is to use Jess, because they don't have Fossil Southie, and she now makes the anti-material charge significantly more efficient, so much cheaper to use. I've clicked Southie in here, and you can see he only regenerates 4 energy now rather than 12, so 12 is really cool, of course. 4 is still, it's okay, but you know, it's much more passive, I guess, at this point. Cassie again with a 1/3 chance, Sarah with the melee damage energy, and these 2 again for the survivability, depending on the level that we're doing. And then the last one, that I guess is obvious, is now if you put Cassie in the lead. So now Cassie gives you the 100% chance of dropping additional items or ingredients, but now we've got Southie and Jess in these 2 places here, both to get your energy and to make your punch your charge cheaper, and then again melee damage, melee kills, getting the energy back, and these 2 again helping you survive. So the simple experiment is, which of these 3 setups gives you more parts and steel and all those other bits and pieces that you might need to build up your storm shields and traps and whatever. So the first thing, I'm not going to test this one. So the reason I'm not going to test this one out is because this one I already tested without Cassie against this one, which I already had with no Cassie as well. And this one with Fossil Southie's lead is far better to me anyway than with Jess as the lead. So I'm not going to worry about this one too much. It's not that Jess's one is bad, it's that Jess's one limits you literally to just using the charge. So she can only use the anti-material charge for all of the collecting stuff. Whereas Fossil Southie gives you energy to do anything you want, which means that especially the high level missions you do, you can easily survive. You can do other abilities quickly. You can get out of danger fast if using phase shift, for example, or you can use seismic smash. Whereas while she uses all the same abilities, because she doesn't have the same energy regeneration, she just isn't quite, I don't find her quite as easy to survive in those same situations for the high level farming. Now, there is the flip argument, there was the slight extra argument that Fossil Southie, I think if you do the maths out completely, actually shows that you do have slightly more energy to do more punches than you do if you use Jess. I think you get 1 extra punch per energy regeneration. However, in terms of just pure enjoyment of playing the game, pure survivability and pure general all-round utility, because I can use the ear splitter spear, for example, with Fossil Southie, and I can't use that with Jess in the same way, I find this one to be far better. So we're not going to worry about testing loadout number 3, though I would say very clearly, if you don't have Fossil Southie, this one's really good. It's just not quite, to me, as good. So it's still more than viable if you have most of these heroes. If you have her, you can farm quickly, and you don't need to worry about most of the other characters, in all fairness. She's the main one that would allow you to do the anti-material charge quickly. These ones just make it all far more efficient, and perhaps these two be better leaders. So, discarding 3, 4's the standard, and 2 is with Cassie now as the lead. So, in terms of pure farming, will she be better? That's the first question, I guess. Will we get more parts and more planks or twine or whatever it is with Cassie versus with Fossil Southie? Find out in a minute, I guess. The other side of it is which one's actually inherently more useful or more enjoyable to me, because Fossil Southie, as I said, because he's got the energy regeneration, it makes him a little bit more flexible. You can actually do a lot more with him. Will Cassie be in a similar fashion to Jess in that she just does the one thing, which is she can only farm and that's it. There's nothing else you can do with her. You can't use her in any other situation, which is quite possible. And I guess the last thing, just to take into account straight away, is that just looking at her abilities, I don't find her abilities as much fun. Shock Tower, I don't like Shock Tower as much. Let's just go into that. Is that button? Yes, it is. So Shock Tower, as you may or may not know, you deploy a little looking stick thing, say Shock Tower, which looks a bit like a Van de Graaff generator or ball or whatever, and it shocks a bunch of people around him. It does a bit of damage. It does similar-ish damage, to be honest, to Teddy. The only difference with Teddy is that Teddy does slightly more shots 4 shots per second, so it's got range to him, and also Shock Tower's a bit faster for the cooldown, so it's I guess it's a bit hidden here or there. Personally, I prefer Teddy. I don't like Shock Tower. So straight up, I'm not as sold on her abilities as I am on Fossil Southie's abilities. However, that's why we try and test these things. So what I'm going to do, and I'm probably going to skip most of this, but just to set up at the start here, is we're just going to go into actually Hexylvania 1. The reason I pick Hexylvania is firstly because if you look, I'm level 25 and I'm just about to get the trap superchargers. I really could do with the extra XP, and we're not that far away from level 28, which is another supercharger. So I kind of want these things if I can get them. So first thing, useful for me. But the other reason why I'm going to go for these ones is because in these missions, my backpack isn't full. So my backpack is still ridiculously full in the normal missions. So whereas in this version of the game, it's not. So I'm going to do a mission is one, mission is the other one. Probably pick the same one twice, I guess. That's probably the fairest way to do this. I don't think there's a second one. And yeah, there's not normally 2 of the same difficulty, is there? No, that's a bit unfortunate. Well, we'll do that. So we'll just do this level 46 one twice. Use one, then the other, and I guess we'll see how it goes. Okay then, so this is Fossil Southie. We'll just show a little bit of the gameplay Fossil Southie. So this is pretty standard. We're just going through, punching the usual things. The energy regenerating, as you can see, quite fast in the corner. We can do our abilities without too much trouble before more punches and punches in sequence. And, you know. I guess the question is, does it look like the items dropping quicker? Yeah, I would say they are. They're looking too hard. Get out of the way of that. I mean, I'll probably do a more mathematical spreadsheet soon and just check exactly how many planks and everything I collect from one of these missions. But I would say, without looking too hard, we are getting more things whenever we do a punch. Yeah, just like trying to gauge exactly how much ore we're getting there. I get 18 ore there in the series of punches. You can see there's like planks are coming up. The different things are coming in multiples often, not one but two, or four, depending what we're doing. That's pretty cool. So 6 planks from that one tree there. So it is definitely making us farm quicker than if we were doing the normal one before without it, which is kind of cool. But we have got the bonus with Fossil Southie that we still, which I collected that we still can do all our normal abilities without too much trouble. Occasionally me just trying to spam the buttons, but other than that, not too bad at all. So I think looks good. Definitely better than before with Cassie compared to Luna that I was using. But I guess we'll see what it's like compared to Cassie. Okay, so now we are across with Cassie. You can see straight off Cassie. Just like this chest here. Ooh, feeling good. Yeah. Anyway, so I guess we're looking now to see how it is. You can see straight away the energy is regenerating very slowly compared to the previous one. You could be a little bit more careful because I'm not going to wait. But at the same time, if you look at each of the punches, and I've already noticed this, is pretty much every time you see that we've got 4 fine grain powder from that punch. 4 or more there. Like wow, we don't want to get killed off on a video, that would be really disappointing. Oh no, yeah, there we go. Shock tower is better this time, isn't it? Not sure the bow is the best weapon. Wow, this is exactly what I wanted in the video. To be attacked by a mist monster. There we go. Super slow down as well, we got that. Okay, kill those guys. Can we get back to the video now, please, dudes? Bro. Thank you. Okay, so, as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted there, that yeah, her energy is definitely not as good. But she is definitely see there's 6 ore every single time. Bam, we are getting loads of materials every single punch. I mean a lot. How many planks is that? Can you tell us? Just the one there, okay. But it means that every punch is now a successful punch, so to speak. Which is brilliant, because it removes that chance of failure. Now, as you can see, the energy is pretty slow, so I've got to be a little careful that I don't get into trouble like I just did then, because phase shifting quickly out the way is not really something I can do as flexibly. However, if we are hitting, see 8 planks and 2 trees, if we are hitting every single thing and every single item is dropping nicely, well, that's game changing, to be honest. So, let's give it that guy before we finish. There we go. That was completely unnecessary. But I think it's interesting because it's definitely less fun. I have to be a little bit more careful as I'm going around here with the energy. I can't just do what I want. But I can see really quickly that even doing the proper spreadsheets, I'm getting way more items. I'm hitting There we go. Hitting the key, waiting to get the punch there before the next one again. So, yeah, you definitely get farming is better, but I'd say experience is worse. And actually, I might say that at a high level, farming would be worse because I wouldn't be able to survive as quickly or to get round without being hurt. But certainly a good addition to any team. Okay, so that just about wraps that up. It's interesting because the better straight up character for getting farming materials is Cassie. Without even looking too carefully. She always guarantees you dropping the items. She gets you way more of every item every time you do every single punch. So she's definitely better. However, the drawback is that she's more difficult to play as. You can't spam the abilities. She's also a little bit more, I would say she's weaker because she simply can't defend herself as well. If you need abilities, if you want to either escape or if you want to use shock tower, Teddy, that kind of thing. So which one would I pick? I don't. It would depend on the mission. I think if it was one of the high level ones, I'd probably still go for Fossil Southie because his energy regeneration is just clutch in those really tight moments. But if I was either at the top end and had all the best weapons, or if I was at the middle end of the game and didn't worry so much about survivability, then I would use Cassie. So hopefully that helps a little bit to look into the characters. Cassie is available in the Hexylvania questline, whereas Fossil Southie you have to use a hero recruitment token, so again that might affect your decisions to which one's better to go for. But both are excellent heroes, and it's probably a good sign for the lifetime of the game that they're bringing out new characters. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below if you disagree or if you've done your own calculations. I'd be interested to see, and hopefully catch you guys next time.